Okay, guys, I am live as I announced in a video, but not well. I had acid reflux attacking me since yesterday morning. Tomorrow I'll go back to the hospital. And I got a new subscriber, but I don't have the name, but I thank her for subscribing. And I wish people would stop sending me emails about what they're saying about me on SewerGab and asking me to do videos about it. Or commenting on them, because I've done enough videos on SewerGab. Everybody knows it's a den of iniquity. They're scum, they're trolls. Excuse me. So I'm not going to do SewerGab videos. What's the point at this point? And I'm going to try to stick this video, or keep this video to like an hour and a half to see if it crashes or not. Maybe it's on too long. I don't know. So anyway, I watched videos about Hudson Valley UFO. It was not a hoax. Kecksburg, not a hoax. And the Phoenix Lights, not a hoax. And that was between bouts of massive acid reflux going up my throat and burning my stomach. So I don't really care what they say about me on SewerGab. It's all lies anyway. By a bunch of trolls who have no life and have nothing to do but better to pick on someone they don't really know. Led by the troll master MV. So there's all I'm going to say about that. I'm sick of those jerks. And, you know, I expect most of them to be retired, because if they aren't, nobody would be sitting there writing post after post about one person obsessively for years. They'd be working. So that's what's going on there. Alright, I don't know if anybody's in here. Let's find out. There's two people, okay? Let's see here. Hello. I'm here. I can't get into email, so I haven't seen President Trump's North Korea tweets. I know we launched a joint missile test firing with the South Koreans. Happy 4th of July to you. And I'll ask you to bear with me, because the back of my throat has been hit with non-stop bile for about, I don't know, 24 hours. And it's time to go over to the emergency room tomorrow, because my ear, nose, and throat doctor was supposed to give me prescription Prilosec and didn't, and I've been complaining about it, and I don't know what to do about it, but I'm going to call up tomorrow and bitch again and say I really need the real stuff, because over-the-counter and stuff doesn't do anything for me. It doesn't stop the bile, and I took Prevacid. That's all I had. It did nothing. I took 3 Rolaids. That did something. And I'm wondering if the reason my Mac is crashing is that if I need new memory, need to clean up my hard drive, or I don't know what it is. But the acid is giving me pains in my chest too, so this is not fun. That's the other reason I'm going over. I'm getting pains on the right side and the left side of my chest, but that may be just the acid eating away at my stomach. I don't know. The one thing that does help with this, Kathy keeps drinking it because her stomach gets upset, is Pepto-Bismol. And I've told her, leave my damn Pepto-Bismol alone, buy your own crap. So I don't have any of that, and tomorrow I may go get some of that just as a stopgap measure. I was going to go to the store, see if 7-Up would help, but I promised to do this, so I'm doing it. But I'll ask you to bear with me because I'm having, even as I speak, everything I eat, immediately it's coming up. And I have my endoscopy on the 19th and the colonoscopy, and that will hopefully find out what's wrong with my stomach. And they put me in the stuff to kill the H. pylori, and at one time it did. But I don't know what to do about it. I got a new doctor, so I'm going to have to talk to her. And the associate for my former doctor said, "Oh, we want you to do a cholesterol test and check for diabetes." And a lot of these doctors don't listen to you. You tell them I have no history of diabetes and my cholesterol is fine. I'm just overweight, exercise, and I don't eat right. Now I'm trying. I'm eating so much salad. I'm surprised I'm not a rabbit. So, Dexter, where are you? I'm just curious. Well, there go the fireworks again. I'm beginning to get paranoid here and thinking they're doing this because I'm doing my videos. Just kidding, I think. That's been going on since Sunday, on and off. Miami. Oh, I'm envious. I've always wanted to go there. If I don't solve this acid reflux problem, I won't be going anywhere. I stayed up this morning and did 3 loads of laundry. Thus the clean shirt. So for the people that say I never wear clean shirts, well, this is clean. So, and with that, Hudson Valley UFO flap, 9,000 people saw those UFOs. They were not planes in formation. Kecksburg, people saw the government come in. Volunteer firefighters found the craft that was shaped like an acorn or whatever the thing was. And they saw the Army remove it, and it was a unit from Pittsburgh, by the way, a radar unit. What a radar unit was doing in Kecksburg, I don't know, but they supposedly, according to one UFO researcher, Stan Gordon, were part of a retrieval team that retrieves crashed UFOs. And the people, even a 10-year-old kid, saw them go by his house with a truck with a UFO in it, on it. And it was not, as the Air Force told people, a meteor. This thing made controlled maneuvers. Controlled maneuvers are not done by meteors. And finally, there's the Phoenix Lights. The skeptics, and I once met one of the biggest skeptics that was out there, William Tenn, or his other name, Philip J. Klass, at a science fiction convention. We went on about it for about 30 minutes, and I said basically he was full of it, and he did not appreciate it. I didn't care. I had his books at the time, and I blew his explanations away. But the explanations for Phoenix, these are military flares, but people were seeing them hours before there were any military flares. One guy with his daughters and his son, the thing hovered over his house for over his front yard for 20 minutes. Wow, 75-inch backyard HD TV unit. Oh, I'm envious again. The evil Dexter Monterey making me want to cry. Yeah, if I were in Miami, I'd be looking for good food and beautiful women. That's what Miami means. So, well, what did Trump say? What did the president say about North Korea? Probably nothing good. They did test, according to South Korea, a ballistic missile, and that's not good. I found my Q-tips. So I'm not going to drink coffee if I can for this video. See if that helps my stomach. Well, tell them all to come in. Tell them all to get laptops or tablets and come into chat. It's a one-way conversation with you and me. Where is everybody? Hello out there. I'll take my steaks well done, just ship them, or raw, and I'll cook them myself. Just ship them on dry ice and send them out here to California. That is not going to happen. China has backed off a little with their support of North Korea, but what can Japan do? Invade? Attack? Japan will do nothing. Oh my God. It's Falky in the pool. Oh, that's almost scary if you think about it. Well, thank you for that. My reflection in the pool was quite beautiful. What do you do when it rains with the TV? Do you like cover it up, or is it rainproof? I don't know. Trump is, you know, everybody tweets. I tweet. Not much, though, other than my videos. But Trump, he got in this habit, and now he can't stop. It's like an addiction, I guess. In case there's a Korean missile attack, your TV will be safe. You know what I would do if I were the president? I would send about a gazillion trucks filled with food and water to the South Korean border, and they do allow trains to go in and let people go meet their families in the South, and I just would take the trucks and run them across the border. Hundreds of, if not thousands of food trucks, and just start throwing out food and water. And they'd probably revolt. They'd be so happy to get something to eat, they'd probably overthrow their evil masters. Yeah, well, I'm sure he is. I mean, he was talking to Putin yesterday. So, well, they're really going to town with the fireworks over there. I'm sure he's doing this. I think he just wants, maybe he just wants to let people know what he's doing. And so, like the people on Surigab, if it doesn't come from me, it's not true. And the people on the fake news media, like CNN, if it doesn't come from Trump, it's not true. And I think that might be part of why he does that. But he's sure doing a lot more than Obama or Bill Clinton. They gave sanctions, and they gave economic aid, and they gave food aid, and it did nothing to stop North Korea. Sending in Dennis Rodman to kill Kim Jong, like in the interview. Well, I don't think that's going to happen. And if I had Dennis Rodman show up, I'd say, get the hell out of here. That guy is very strange. Excuse me. I don't think anybody... No. I've talked about Damon Lake till the cows come home. He's a major troll with multiple names, and his saying I lied about what he wanted to do in the interview, and he was in Roseville, and yada, yada, yada. As far as I'm concerned, it's 20 miles away. Roseville and Sacramento are the same place as far as my getting there and my staying there. And he claims he had a hotel room, and This is the same clown that started at $200 and went up to $1,000 to interview me. That was all BS. Kathy heard it. No, he's not from Roseville. I don't know where he's from. He claims he lives in Palmdale or somewhere near Edwards Air Force Base, and he works for Lockheed. But I've kept all the emails, so I can prove it anytime I want. Just post them on my blog. I think he tried this BS twice in an interview with me. He wanted to interview for money, and when I finally confronted him the first time, he called me every name under the book. And he started Mr. Spock's fishing lure or something on Sewer Gab. So, you know, he's probably a corporal or something, or an airman. Did he work with Bob Lazar? I don't know. I think everybody worked with Bob Lazar. I don't know. So, hello, Shortwave. Happy 4th of July. No, the whole, yeah, he is the Nori Gab troll, the George Nori fan page troll. He started that thing, and then about 25 of us, we were enjoying ourselves, and he shut the board down to be a jerk. Right. Well, I have to say that I'm not a Meth Lab owner, and I did not stay at a Holiday Inn last night. So, but you know, the whole board there is just full of nothing but evil people. They did a show on me on Saturday, and they talked crap about me. And Joe Stein sent an email. You gonna do a video about Belgab and what they said about you? No, I'm not going to do a video. I guess I'm doing it now, in a sense. But I'm sick of those people. They're the A word, multiplied exponentially to infinity. That's what they are. So I'll be very glad to go see Kathy. No, she will not be here. There are no buses on July 4th, either here or where she lives. There's no way for either one of us to get to each other today, unless someone would have offered to drive me, and I would have said, drive me to the hospital first so I can get some relief, then drive me to Kathy's. So we don't go anywhere on holidays because we don't have a car. Well, everybody knows Pahrump is the center of the United States, you know. And Free Art Bell. Our emperor lives there. And now I don't know who's doing the diaper duties, but Abe is out with his family doing something, and so see, in a perfect world there would be a micro EMP pulse and MV's computer store and MV's house, and that's all it would affect was both of those. So destroying Belgab forever. I ever get rich, I'll see if I can have someone develop one for me. Little tiny missile, you know, just sent straight to Cape Girardeau. By the way, they had I was looking through NICAP reports in the 80s, and they had a UFO sighting there. Yeah, I heard that briefly. I wanted to see what was on there. Oh, God, there goes my stomach again. So I don't know what to think about that. Why do you want to clone woolly mammoths? Why do you want to clone, you know, there were talk about cloning dinosaurs. Do you really want to clone a T-Rex? Something that's going to try to eat everybody that looks at it? I think the idea of there being a woolly mammoth would kind of be cool, but the climate's changed. It probably wouldn't be very comfortable. And I've looked at Godlike Productions, and it's interesting. No, I haven't. I don't do Netflix. Everybody keeps talking about Netflix. Remember, they stole my main iPad, which would have allowed me to watch. I could watch it on my television. By the way, I cleared off the TV, well, except the temporary 3 boxes of clean laundry sitting there now that I have to have the energy and be pain-free for a while to put away. But I have clean towels now, clean shorts, clean shirts, clean socks, clean underwear. Yeah, well, if I ever get rich, first, of course, I take care of Kathy and me and help the people who've helped me out, and then buy some houses and give them rent-free to the homeless families and veterans and homeless people, and probably start a cat shelter or an animal shelter. And then I hire some dark web hackers and go after all the trolls from Sewergab. You hate them that much, huh? You gave them all a Kindle Fire for free as a gift. That damn thing, it crashes during emails. I mean, I don't know what the problem is. If it's lack of memory or whatever. Well, that's going to be a surprise. I have 3 on order. So you'll have to wait for the unboxing videos. Sorry, Shortwave. He's talking about what are the next paranormal books I add to my collection. Well, they're cheap in a way, but I still got to spend the money to get them. What's the best book to start with? I'm going to build a collection. Well, I would avoid John Hogue's books. I would avoid Sylvia. My brain is gone. Sylvia, what's her face? Oh yeah, somebody asked me why I get her books, because I want to see if what she wrote was BS or had any validity to it. The J. Allen Hyatt book on the Hudson Valley UFO. Anything by Brad Steiger. Hans Holzer, Ghost. It's not paranormal, but it has some paranormal elements in it. Anything about the Knights Templar. Richard C. Hoagland books. Art Bell. George Norrie. Let's see. Donald E. Keough. Coral Lawrenson. And Nick Redfern and Nick Pope and Jim Mars. You know, I have books by all those people. And Richard knows me. We've corresponded in email many times. So, yeah, I think the Loch Ness Monster is real. Although it's odd, the first notice that supposedly one site said, there she goes. Hello, I am live on the video. I told you 5 o'clock, but what you doing? All right. You know, I think Kathy has not post-traumatic stress syndrome, but current traumatic stress syndrome. She never remembers that I tell her I'm going live. Yeah, well, I'm not going to say it's dumb, but it went off. I showed you. It went off in a tangent. And we had 64 pages of all about George Norrie. Am I getting a bald spot? My God. So the first book, part of the book, is interesting. The rest of it, you could rip the pages out and put them aside. He didn't know. He said, I want to tell you a bit about me. And then the bit went on for a book-length novel. Filmmaker Tommy Wiseau. No, I have not read it. I've not seen it, and I've never even heard of it. I don't know who Tommy Wiseau is. So, George Norrie needs an editor. Well, presumably that publishing house had an editor. Maybe that was the whole problem. Maybe he needs a new editor. I don't know. I don't want to tear George down, but after waiting 3 months for that book, I consider a major disappointment. And I told him what I thought. I said, you really didn't have to go on for all these pages about yourself. I don't know if, Lemon Lift would help or not. Well, but I'm going to go get it. Let me go get a cup of hot tea. I'll try. But I'm not. I have some packets of honey. I will be right back. have returned. It's my keyboard falling down again. Alright, and we will see if the tea helps. I should have made tea before I started this, but I didn't have a lot of time. And I'm going to see if eating some nutritious salad, no tomato, no bell pepper, just your basic salad, if this will help. Okay. Well, the problem is I can't leave the stream and go to another page. Well, I could go to, yeah, well, I don't have any whiskey. No, it's something like Drake or something. I'd have to go in the other room and look. I'm not going to get up again. Who's Logan Paul? Yeah, this is my, let me step back here, my Catton shirt. Got that off eBay. General Catton. And that's my patriotic shirt for today. And so, just send money to, here. Hold on. Where the hell is my keyboard? Uh-oh. What happened? Something happened. Whoops. Well, does not work right. What the heck happened, Mickey? Hold on. This thing is... Alright, there's my email. And you can donate to me through that, or at the end of the video, the link will be... In my other videos, the link is published to PayPal, to my PayPal account. So you can just... 7 million? What does he do? Well, I'm colorblind for black and blue socks. I can't tell the difference. Why do you say he's a coward? If he has 7 million videos, 7 million subscribers, 7 million videos, right? I'm posting 72 a day, every minute of the day. He cannot accept donations? Why not? Why didn't he start a PayPal account? Hold on. Okay, there's the address. I'll do the other one too. I didn't realize it could. Hold on. This is the... I think it'll still work the old way. I have to switch. Okay. Did I do that right? No. Hold on. Okay, there's the other way. Well, try that one. I know the link works. I've gone to it myself. But I also post in every video my mailing address, so you can always send me a check or a money order or money. Well, don't know. I got people who love my stuff, but That would be hard to say. Aaron is a big fan. Other people. Oh yeah. Speaking of fans, I knocked over my fan in the hallway and it's dead. So there's my #1 fan. It went. I couldn't see this morning very well and knocked on the floor. So after years of faithful service, no, Tommy is not a fan of me. Sadly, when I called him recently to tell him about the theft of my iPad, he went and said, "What's that got to do with us?" So he's been very hostile, and I don't understand it. I think now you have to use the PayPal ME/George Senda to donate. It won't let people send money to me at my email account anymore. But I don't know for sure. I'll have to try it one day. Not quite. I got the lenses put in new frames, but there's a gap. And we'll get some caulk next month and put the caulk in the gap. Silicone caulk or something. If I can, without screwing the lenses up. The other ones are still sitting in the living room. Well, I'm not going to call them that. I just don't understand. Well, there's some things behind the scenes that I do understand something of, but civility should be there and it hasn't been, but I don't want to go into that. I really don't. I don't want to jeopardize my friendship with George. Yes, happy birthday, America, indeed. Don't see any terror attacks going on. No disaster news today so far. So, I guess I'll have to look at this, what's his name again? Logan Paul. Let me write that down. I can find something to write on. Okay, I'll have to check his stuff out and let you know what I think. Sounds like a character from some Universal. The billionaire Logan Paul said today, I do know that if George had ever sold the television pilot we did, my life would have changed and Kathy's life would have changed. Okay, if you go to my previous videos, wait a minute. Now, Aaron said this doesn't work, but when I went there, or it goes there, so I don't know if it works or not, because I've never tried to send money to myself. I don't know if I can. I'm gonna have to get. I have no idea who the podcast is. Person. George has had different people with snippets of podcast on. And my feelings hurt that he didn't offer to help me set up my own podcast. Of course, the sewer gabbers will Oh, there he is, trying to get donations again. There he is, trying to leech off people. He's fat, he's ugly. I mean, I've never anybody said I was ugly. I'm not a rich man by any means. So, happy for it, Ralph and everybody. Gee, Carl, you want to donate $100? It might be just easier. If you can't donate to PayPal, just send me a money order to, and I'll give you my mailing address. I get no mail at my home. Don't send it here. I get $100. I still don't know whether I should add memory to this Mac to stop the crashing. Now I gotta remember what my address is. They never write me. I got the address for the No, I didn't say I wasn't a fan of his, Stephen. I've never heard the guy. Except, look, I turn on George, I listen for a while, and then if it's not interesting, I turn off. So this particular guy doing a podcast, okay, that means that I have been attacked by sewer gabbers. Thank you for letting me know this. I will have to call PayPal. Okay, give me a moment. I'm going to go get my device. Fuzzy! Where have you been all day, little one? Fuzzy, 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 fuzzy. Now. Those PayPal, those Belgab jerks. They probably reported to PayPal that I'm a fraud and stopped me from getting donations. What a bunch of assholes. Okay. I'm going to look this up. Thanks somebody for letting me know. I'm from Pittsburgh. See? Okay. I really appreciate someone telling me that. Now, I'm going to look up PayPal's phone number, and I'm going to call PayPal live. Because I'm really mad about this. This is how, they have harassed Aaron. They've harassed other people for donating to me. And, okay.
Conversations with you or any other person may be recorded or monitored for quality purposes. Please say or enter the 6-digit one-time passcode provided to you on the PayPal website. Or say, I don't have one.
I don't have one.
All right. Do you have a PayPal account?
Yes.
Okay. Please enter or say the phone number on that account.
Oh, God. I can't.
Sorry. Please enter or say your phone number one digit at a time, including the area code. Say, I don't... That was 925.
I'll have to do this later. I'm not going to have my phone number bandied about and have the sewer gabs attack me again. So I will, I'll deal this later. Just send me, if you want to do that, send me a money order. I will straighten this out. I didn't know this was happening. You told me. Thank you, Carl Cargo, for informing me. And I will definitely, when this is concluded, I will definitely get online and find out what to do about it, because I'm mad in hell right now. Okay, but I am not going to have my home phone number put out on the internet, because I've had to change it repeatedly. Bear with me a minute. I'm trying to turn my devices off here and find my keyboard. That's just got me really, really furious. I'm a poor man. I get $895.40 a month. We're getting a raise next year. I'm not engaging in any fraud, and PayPal's stupid enough to listen to trolls. So, Carl, if you hadn't told me about that, I would have never known. It was working the last time I used it. Hold on. That's not what I want. Okay. Their stock price is low enough they can't afford to alienate customers. And I've been a big PayPal customer for years with all my eBay purchases for me and for Kathy. Come on. Alright, when I get done with this, I'll call PayPal. Raise some hell. Okay. Shut down Safari. They never quit, though. These people never quit attacking me and making my life I gotta fix this. They say I've killed my father. I've killed my first girlfriend. I beat Kathy up. I hurt cats. It goes on and on and on. No, I would not be guesting on Nori. I've asked Nori to put me on as a co-host. I've asked Nori to put me on as a secret door person. Nothing happens. I think it's because of Tommy, but I can't prove it. I know if I had a producer I wouldn't be sitting here going blank wondering what the hell to talk about. There'd be something to talk about. And the other thing is I would have known about this outrage and would have certainly done something about it by now. So just, you got my email. Made me spit up my tea. Why would Donald Trump watched Toy Story. There come up with some weird questions there, boy. By the way, Nori has not sent me any kind of an email other than asking about my health since I sent him what I said about his book. So Nori might be mad at me. I don't know. But my mother brought me back that terrible towel. So it's a double memento. It's a memento of Pittsburgh and a memo here. Buzz is still alive. I thought Buzz Aldrin was dead. Well, wait a minute. Buzz Aldrin said that to Trump, or he said that to George Norrie? I'm a little confused. You know, we have no knowledge of Trump's interest. Oh, yeah. I hadn't thought it might be the Jason Callan creeps that are doing this. Didn't occur to me. It might not be bell gabbers at all, because there's a hatred from that Callan's Legion. Not the first time in a while a Callan troll has showed up in here. But why they keep attacking me, and my video, every video I do is marked dislike, dislike, dislike. Well, I can tell you from Rush and other people, they get thousands of emails a day. And it's impossible for them to comment on everyone. Yeah, well, Crappio has put out numerous videos on me. But I've got too much personal stuff to do to deal with him. He's on the radar. No, he's not an alter ego of Aaron. Jason Callan is a guy in a small town next to Erie, Pennsylvania. And he eats food samples. I would love your iPad Air too. They stole mine, remember? Well, Callan told me what he does is takes a bite out of the food and spits it up so he won't gain weight, and it ain't working because he gained weight. Carl, you got my, I'm going to give it to you again. I'm going to give my email again. Just drop me an email and give me your phone number, and I'll call you. Whoop, that's not working. And Callan has this, no, he eats like Arby's new roast beef with guacamole sandwich. He takes one bite, and he says off camera he spits it out. Or maybe he spits it out on camera. I've never watched. Or he gets some candy bar or a potato chips or whatever. I will say that when I've eaten potato chips, I'm eating the potato chips. They're going right to the gut. Or candy bar or whatever I try. It's not being barfed up on YouTube. And I think YouTube is madder than hell if people keep barfing on it. Well, people send him stuff to eat. Someone should send him yak butter or something. Or fried maggots. I don't know. You know, something they can't eat barf up automatically. But he has a following. And there are people that watch. Yeah, but I can't eat it. It's got jalapeno peppers on it. And the other stuff had some kind of ungodly hot peppers in it too. It was Chinese food. I did eat the beef, half of it. But it's still one hell of a kick of spiciness there. Steven says deep fried roaches. Yeah, Dexter says I get pizza and Chinese. No, I get pizza and Chinese to harass me. Jalapeno peppers would cause my ulcer to go into pain overdrive. I can't eat that stuff. And I would have loved a pizza at least one time. Of course, you know, if this guy, the pizza troll, wasn't mean-spirited, he would have sent a regular pizza. I'm always puzzled by the sewer gabbers who hate me. Dexter says nothing beats a barbecued hot dog slathered in Illinois Arnold's famous wing sauce, which I've never heard of, but I expect Jason Callan will be trying that next. Jason Callan's blood type says Christopher is ragu. That's funny. 1 point for Christopher. When the EMP attack hits and knocks the grid out, I don't know how you're going to get protein. The big city is going to be trashed in a week. Looting, murdering, raping. Dogs and cats living together, you know. And the countryside, a lot of it will die too, because a lot of the countryside depends on the cities. Well, I hope to be in my land by then. And then something else nobody thinks about, what do we do with our pets? They can't deliver food, they can't deliver cat food. Has George Norrie ever succeeded in securing the grid? Well, he hasn't. They've had congressional hearings on this, but it's kind of like talking about a potential asteroid strike. The percentages of it. Will it happen, and do we spend the money on it? And they don't want to spend the money. That's what it boils down to. One state has protected its electric infrastructure against EMP. I think that was Vermont. We could do it easily. It would just cost money and effort. But the problem is, even if you protected the transmission grid, any house or building or structure not hardened against EMP is going to go dark. We have a lot of commissions. They come out these commissions and the recommendations go nowhere. Dexter, I don't think saying George Norrie is all talk and no action. He has presented a lot of stuff that people did not know about. No, George Norrie will not ruin against Trump on the 2020 Democratic ticket. Norrie's not a Democrat as far as I know. Well, if you have a pre-1965 car, you'll be good. No electronic ignition. Of course, I don't know where you're going to get gas. Now, if I won the lotto, and Jay Leno is good, he's got hundreds of cars, and probably hand pumps for gasolines, and probably tanks of gasolines, but all his repair equipment is going to buy. Hello, Armin. Happy for it. Anything pre-65 is going to work. But I asked George about this, and he says your wiring in your house will go bye-bye. So you're going to be sitting in the dark. And the number one threat right now is North Korea. Yeah, he's very libertarian. He talks about in his new book what his political philosophy is. By the way, I'm George, not Gorgo. Armin. Gorgo, the new monster movie from Britain. Gorgo 2. Oh. Buddy. Fuzzy. Fuzzy. Fuzzy's playing hard to get like all other women. Fuzzy, fuzzy. Water. All right. Tonight's coast is Fuzzy. What do you say? Say anything, Fuzzy? Mm-hmm. This is a Fuzzy Hug Break brought to you by Good Life and Friskies and Fancy Feast. Mm-hmm. And she is the baby. She's a very gentle cat. Mm-hmm. But shitty. She's purring away, though. She loves her daddy. Yes. Loves her person. Okay. All right, there went Fuzzy. I have no dogs because I can't look. There's days like today. I was on the floor. Oh, peach water. There's days where my foot gets paralyzed and I can't. I have trouble walking to the bathroom the 22 feet. But she comes up to me and nuzzles me and wants petting. And last night, Fluffy came in and started kneading. So, oh, another thing. I had fun this morning. I went to the bathroom to use the bathroom. And what the hell is this? I put something down, it disappears. I got a black hole in this desk. I have my comb. I see my hair sticking. I gotta cut my own hair, I guess. Anyway, I go to use the bathroom, and I walk over by the because I've been eating chicken franks and turkey franks for about 12 years. They're in the icebox. I'm sick of eating them, and I want to try to eat a little healthier. That's why I'm eating salad. I like salad. I go in the bathroom, and the ceiling starts dripping water. I go, what the hell? So I called housing, apologized for getting the guy out of what he was doing on 4th. He said, I'm on call. And he went upstairs. Somebody took a shower, and you couldn't fit a Walmart scooter in here. There's no room. Yeah, it could be. Maybe they escaped to escape Bad Nori guest. No, I don't watch Joey's World Tour. He's associated with Jason Callan, so I know he exists, that's all. That Callan's videos get relatively few views, but he does videos with Joey, and he gets a lot of views. Which indicates to me that Joey's... Now, this is nuts. I had my comb here. It's gone. There it is. Buried in my Kleenex. Okay. Ow! Just see me pull a tangle, folks. Okay. Ain't looking scruffy. Okay, there's me combing my hair, and part of my hair coming off with some lint in it. I don't know where the lint came from. By the way, I did my laundry today, and I go to the dryer filter, and I take it off. It's full of cat hair, so I now know what's in my laundry. It's nothing but cat hair. One day I'm going to pull the clothes out. They'll go into the black hole, and I'll just pull out a laundry. It'll be a big ball of cat hair. Yeah, well, you know, I've got the book, and some people put that book down. The co-wrote with Richard Belzer. But no one's ever found a trace of that plane. And the only conclusions is once everything sank, which is unlikely, you'd see some kind of debris, or two, it went to land. It's not my dryer, it's the communal dryer. Hello, Jonathan Kington. All right. How you doing? And why are you associating with the hot dog swilling Dexter? Or is swilling the right word? Wouldn't guzzle. What would the... I don't know what the right word. Going to have the Miami Hot Dog Championship at Dexter's house. He'll invite the whole neighborhood and be throwing hot dogs out at people left and right as fast as he can cook, as he can plump them on the grill. Okay, I'm going to pause for 1 minute and shut the camera eye off for a second. I'll be right back. There. God. Ugh. I'm still here, I just have to do something, so I don't want people to see me doing this. It's driving me crazy. Okay, I'm back. Here we go. There we go. Thank you, Kington. Why don't you come in here and chat? Well, I like movies too. I watched Spectre, I watched Star Trek Beyond, and I watched a whole bunch of episodes of Unsolved Mysteries. So, but Dennis Farina, I do not care for. Robert Stack was the man, and most people don't know the first episode of Unsolved Mysteries was presented by Raymond Burr, which would have been very interesting, but I guess Burr was busy. He didn't do the show, but Stack was great actor and good friend of Clark Gable. Yeah, I've seen every Bond film too. Of course, the songs they're putting out now just don't cut it. They ain't Shirley Bassey, that's for sure. Everything's a remake of everything. There's I don't remember the exact quote, but somebody once said that all the Greek tragedies and comedies have been done over and over in the last 2,000 years. I've never seen a Cars movie. Not my thing. The only thing I know about it is Larry the Cable Guy is the voice of a tow truck. So, I watched all the episodes of the Grand Tour, and they killed some more animals, which is, I've never seen a Hobbit film. Oh my! Chips has already been remade in a movie. It sucked. It's very hard. I could watch Chips if I weren't on this. On Amazon Prime, they offered it to me. I declined. And, you know, they should be ashamed. They keep doing this. Beverly Hillbillies, Dukes of Hazzard, G.I. Joe. Well, Kington can love it, but if you were a fan of the original series, which had its negative moments, but from what I understand, this movie, it's horrible. A lot of toilet humor and vulgar language, and I don't know what else, but I wasn't paying it. I was looking forward to it when I heard how bad it was. I said, I ain't going to watch this piece of crap, you know. Yeah, well, it's time, boy, to go out there on YouTube and look for that series if you can. Gotta watch Paunch. Roseanne Barr is going to ride a motorcycle. Stephen S. selling online about starting up the show at Roseanne Barr again. Maybe I'm twisting my metaphors here, but Roseanne Barr is scary. Yeah. Worst singer in American history, the ballpark. I'm not excited about it, but then I would have watched Roseanne for only one reason, John Goodman. I watched maybe one episode. It just, you know, there's things out there I would never watch because the person is distasteful. And Roseanne is a distasteful liberal like Rosie O'Donnell. Yeah, well, that did Tim Allen a whole lot of good on ABC, being a conservative, and they kicked him off. So, well, she's good pro-Trump. I'm for her in that respect, but I don't like the woman. It's creepy. And she sang at the San Diego Padres one game, the Star Spangled Banner, and you could send that tape down to Gitmo and torture the detainees. By the way, Canada just paid $1 million to some Gitmo detainee. Maybe I need to go to Gitmo and crash my way in. Canada could send me $1 million. Christopher, Roseanne was the inspiration for twin beds. Well, there were twin beds, if you're old enough to remember, in the movies and television, they wouldn't allow the couples to sleep in the same bed. And I think the first person that was, I don't remember when the first people were sleeping together, but Lucille Ball and Desi and Arnaz and I Love Lucy had to sleep in separate beds. it was assumed by the censors that people would think that a married couple, particularly when they had children, would be having sex if they were actors. And the actors portraying the married couple would be having sex if they dared to be seen in the bed together. It's ridiculous. Ugh. I am starting to die in here. Uh-oh, I'm losing viewers left and right. Well, the problem is Obama sent a whole bunch of these guys who really were terrorists back to Yemen and other places. And probably there's guys in there that aren't terrorists. No, I'm not going to be watching Twilight Zone Marathon. I've seen all the episodes. Why would I want to watch them again? Mr. Dingle is strong. The To Serve Bad episode. And anything with Burgess Meredith was great. But most of the episodes, I've seen them. I saw them when they came on in 1959, 60, 61, 62. So, you know, it's just like there's one Outer Limits episode that I liked. It was with Carol O'Connor, and they were two Martians, and the woman was shooting her husband, and they stopped time. That was fun. But most Outer Limits episodes, the original, not the remake, were the Monster of the Week. Hello, Luca. So I understand. He's saying Lucille Ball was UFO abductee. And with the life with Desi not being happy, maybe that's why she got abducted. I don't know. I'm surprised everybody in the country isn't a UFO abductee. Happy for it, Luca. So, hello, are we still... Hold on, let me check on this. I'm still streaming, folks. It's still on. I still don't understand what 716 subscribers, well, I get 10 people in here. This puzzles me. Reaching down. I can see me too. All right, finished off last week's peach water. One thing about the peach water, you can drink it indefinitely. It does not go bad for some reason. Tomorrow I'll go to the hospital and get them to do something about the acid reflux, and then I go to Kathy's, and then you'll see the kitty. The new Kathy kitty. And I don't know how to set up live streaming from Kathy's computer, but I do it. God, these people are evil. To report to PayPal them engaging in fraud. My voice is shot right now because the acid reflux has been eating away at the back of my throat. I'll do one little piece. Hail Columbia, the gem of the ocean. That's all I remember. So, that's it. Remember, everything out there after 1919 is copywritten. So there's a lot of patriotic songs you can't do. By the way, have you ever wondered why? I don't know about your wallet. These are all receipts and lotto tickets and God knows what else. And I really should go through these. And coupons, so that's no good anymore. Save the lotto tickets in case I ever win. I can rain checks. Anybody ever bet the lotto numbers that come in your fortune cookie? Because I've done that. I've done that once or twice. Some guy in New York hit the lotto. He actually hit 6 out of 6. Okay, there's that. What's this? Ah, my doctor's number. Another rain check. The problem with Alexa Dot, one, it's in the other room, and if you disconnect it, it takes a while to come back on. And the other thing is that, like I said, everything after 1919 is copywritten, so you can't do copywritten songs. Well, about 10, 12 years ago. I'm tired of this keyboard falling down. 10, 12 years ago, I played the lotto. I go very the mega, 4818. And I hit 4 out of 6. And I missed hitting 6 out of 6 by literally 1 digit. Instead of 18, it was 17. And instead of 28, it was 27. I won $250. I had it on 5 tickets. But that's it. I've hit 4 out of 6 since. I've hit 3 out of 6. But that's the closest I've ever come to winning the lotto. I played a lotto, a couple bucks. When it's 600 million on the Powerball, I'll spend $4. Play my regular numbers and play one quick pick. I might get lucky. I don't know. But imagine if I did win the lotto. Get healthier, lose some weight, buy a house for me and Kathy, a new car for me and Kathy, rub it into Ratty Patty. I wouldn't get her a new car. I probably would, just so when you have to hear Kathy about, oh, I can't go with Patty because she has no car and her crapmobile broke down. But I hate Ratty Patty because of the way she treats Kathy. Let's see. Partial shopping list from Walmart. So the problem with the Super Lotto, Powerball, Mega Millions, which I haven't won squat on, is you got guys coming in. I've watched them in the liquor store here. They're buying 50 tickets at a time, and if you're buying 2, they have a better chance. It's minuscule than you do. But I once watched a woman buy 300 quick picks when the lotto was $50 million. She didn't win $1. So it's a crapshoot. The lottery is a crapshoot. Yeah, well, you know, the problem is with MB, Lucas says there's so much space in the internet. It'd be nice if MB stops talking about George and the bell gabbers would just leave this channel alone. The problem is that's all MB has. No one listens to his... Oh, he gets listeners from Belgab, the fellow trolls on there, his followers. But the average person out there, they go, what the hell is Belgab? I never heard of Belgab. So no one knows he exists. No one knows his crapcast exists. There's more people know about me than there are about Belgab. I get people constantly say, I've seen your videos. I'm going down the street. I'm going in stores. People are seeing me, and they subscribe. And by the way, they take 40%, not 3/4, even. 40% skimmed off the top. That's what the federal government takes in lotto taxes. And if I ever meet Donald Trump, I say, hey, could you pass a bill that locked it down to about 2%? because particularly they've done studies, the poor are the people who buy the most lottery tickets because they need it the most. And most of them squander it, and I wouldn't. I'd put some into high-yield bonds and high-yield stocks. But I would stock up my house with provisions. And, okay, John Blackwell Jr., Prince's former drummer, dies at 43. That's awfully young to die. Rest in peace, whoever you are. No, the state of California takes no state income taxes out. But the last I heard, the feds take 40%. Yeah, they shouldn't take anything at all. But you see, the problem with the lottery, it's considered a sin tax. Same with cigarettes, liquor. So they tax beer and alcohol up to wazoo. They tax cigarettes up to it because it's sinful. And if you play lottery, it's sinful. So a lot of these guys die of drugs. A lot of these guys could have, if you do certain drugs like heroin, you get enlarged heart valves. It's sad. But they made their choices. And, like I said, my information may not be up to date, but at one time it was 40%. Because you see a guy win $650 million, and they say he only gets 180 of that after the state takes out. It's a pari-mutuel thing, like going to the racetrack. So, let's see. Hold on. Let's resolve this. I'll go into Safari. And you know, going back to Sewer Gab, they say I'm a leech and a fraud and a con man. Who the hell am I conning? Okay. Yeah, but whoever said that they would, if they would send me another iPad, I would love it. It would save me $400 of savings, and I would have to buy a brand new one, and then you'd see me go out and do more videos. I'm really hampered by the broken one. Okay, big jackpots are taxed at 39.6%. If you take a cash lump sum, which everyone but 4 people have taken since 2003, the takeaway for the current $1.5 billion jackpot is $930 million. The winner must pay $368 million in federal income tax. Now that's as of 2016. Now we'll go on the Powerball jackpot. You don't pay any tax in California. And, okay, what is this? So, now they mentioned that Florida, New Hampshire, South Dakota, Tennessee, Texas, or Wyoming, no state income tax. They forgot. They forgot Nevada. There's also no tax there. No state income tax. So, in fact, they left Nevada out of this list of lottery things at all. So, now if you're in New York, one of the highest tax states in the country, you won the lotto, you'd pay $118 million in taxes, and you get $930 million, you'd only take home $444 million. So I don't want to live in New York. And there's no tax in Pennsylvania, which is another reason to go back to Pittsburgh. There are I once looked up for a friend of mine. I found a short-term, high-yielding stock that was $50 a share. and it was paying a one-time special dividend of $50 a share. So you get something like that and hold it, pay the capital gains, and that's how you can double your money right away. You don't have to put it all in, but you put enough of it in that it would be worth to do it. I would buy bank stocks, I would buy utility stocks, I would buy Walmart, I would buy some Amazon, some Apple, but I'd also buy some high-yielding stocks, because most stocks I've seen pay only about 3%. They're chintzy. Doesn't even, you want to have a stock or an investment that's going to pay you 3 times the amount of inflation. And we're getting a big raise next year if you're on Social Security or disability or railroad retirement or the VA or you're a government worker that's retired. We're getting $27 and change next year, which is a bag of groceries. Or if I put it away for every month for 10 months, it's a rent for a month. I saw The Fish That Saved Pittsburgh ages ago. It had something to do with basketball when it came out, but I don't have a clue. I don't remember. It's been so damn long ago. What, 40 years ago maybe? I'd like to know what the state of New York spends their money on, because they tax everybody for cigarettes, booze, gas. They have huge gas taxes. What are they spending money on? I didn't see any improvements when I went through Albany when I was a kid. Are they spending on illegal aliens like California does? I don't know. And the other thought I'm thinking, I'm coming from Guatemala or Mexico or Honduras or El Salvador or Colombia, and I'm going to cross the border and head straight for snowbound Minnesota or New York. I don't get that one. Social Security money will run out eventually if we don't do something about it. What they do usually, when they finally realize it's a total crisis, and we have, our Congress is a sloth. They take numerous vacations, which irritates the hell out of people. And when there's a crisis, they run around with Chicken Little with their head cut off, and then they finally do something about it. They raise the retirement age. They cut benefits. Just like we're going to get a raise, and then they'll turn around if you're on Medicare, they'll raise your copay for your drugs. I had to pay, and luckily I had $2 and change. I had to pay for my medication $2.28 as a copay. The Medicare pays the rest of it, but they'll just raise the retirement age. One day you won't get Social Security until you're 75, by which point you'll probably be dead. But it's a Ponzi scheme. It's a ripoff. George Bush was right. They should have allowed you to invest it in the market or elsewhere. But the Democrats are screaming, oh, you're going to rip people off. No, you should have an alternate way to invest. What I would do if I were Trump, I would say, let's have a policy where you can invest as much as you want, but if your income is above a certain level, you cannot invest as much as you want. If you make like $100,000 or less, you put, that's not nice. They spend it on Christie's food allowance. He went to some beach that was closed by the state and was sunbathing there. But let people $100,000 or under, let any investment they make for retirement be tax-free, and put it in the law that we cannot change this law once we enact it. So they can't turn around and rip you off later. And that's all they do. They come up with these laws, IRA, Kehoe, self-directed IRA, and then they change the rules. They never keep their word. Of course, we have 535 congressmen and 100 senators, and most of them are millionaires. They don't give a damn about the average, most people in there. Don't care about the little guy who's got to go to work from 9 to 5. I don't know why he closed the beach. I just saw the headline. I didn't read the story. I'm really hampered by not having the other iPad, because the other iPad, the broken iPad, the screens jump around and I can't watch anything. It really is aside from doing videos, it's really screwing me up, and the stupid Kindle Fire crashes all the time. So, oh, and going back to Casio for a minute, he's convicted. He claims he's not a double child molester, but I saw the evidence. He molested. He had sex with a 14-year-old girl, and supposedly, and the evidence I saw, he went to court. He denies it. He had sex with a 9-year-old boy. He's a creep. And he keeps doing videos on me, some really creepy videos. He even has a former child molester attacking him. So, let's see. I love dogs, by the way. If I had a dog, well, once I move to the desert, I'd get a dog to protect against the coyotes, but it would have to like cats. So, there's a dog in Texas I found, and some of those like cats very much, and they don't attack them. But the thing is, we have too many laws in this country that stop the average person from making money. Too many restrictions. Too many taxes. Don't know anything about the new Spider-Man movie. What is this now? The 97th Spider-Man now? They had Spider-Man 2 and 3 available on. No, I'm not getting a pet Chupacabra. I think there is a plush Chupacabra on eBay, but I'm not sure about that. Those things are nasty. They eat car bumpers and goats and cats and dogs. I'm not going to have a Chupacabra here. I might get a shirt saying "Got Chupacabra." I've been tempted, but I'm not going to get a Chupacabra. By the way, the co-host with Abram broke over 200 views, biggest ever. So, let's see. Let me look at eBay. And let's see if they have a Chupacabra figure and a Chupacabra shirt. Let's see if anybody has been weird enough to come up with a Chupacabra plush. Oh, the problem with Chupacabra now is you get that stupid Disney. Oh my God, they do. Oh my God. I assume you can all see my Safari screen. Oh, that's funny. $25 for a Chupacabra. I mean, I'd almost be willing to waste it and send it to Nori. Here, give Tommy something to sleep with at night. There he is. Here. Oh, that's funny. Send one to Art Bell, too. Here's a toy for your new kid. But I'm not being mean, Art. But that's funny. Chupacabra plush. There we go. Oh, well, I didn't know. I thought you could see the screen. You could see my... Okay, hold on. We'll do it this way. Let's see if I can copy this. I know you could see my computer screen. Oh, that's great. I love it. If I had the money to spare right now, I'd buy it. That's something else people don't understand. Okay, now, you should be able to see this as soon as it opens. Now, can you see that? I've heard hints that Art may watch my stuff, but I don't. I know Nori doesn't. He doesn't have time. That's odd. People are supposed to be able to see a shot of my main screen. Well, anyway, type Chupacabra plush on eBay and it's out there. Let me see if I can. This guy made me wind up selling more Chupacabras. One thing that frustrates me is I wish I were taking things to a higher level and getting more viewers. And I don't understand why I don't have 700 viewers every live podcast, video cast. All right, now let's see if I can. If it'll let me put this in. I don't know. Nope, can't put the link in. Very odd. Anyway, anybody wants it, send me an email. I'll send you the link later. I haven't gone camping since like 1962. No, he didn't name his baby Alexander Graham Bell. He named it Alexander Bell, but I don't know about Graham. Someone sent me an email, the exact name of the, hello stranger, the exact name of the child. I know it was Alexander. Let's see. Yeah, well, 50,000 is a lot. That's a lot of people. That's, let's see, 10% be 5 million. So 10%, 1%, he's getting 1%. If I had 1%, I'd be getting 71 instead of 10. So, or wait a minute. Yeah. So I'm not even getting 1%. And I don't understand this. They already met, according to what I read on Sunday. This past Sunday. Of course, we had a guy come in here several videos ago. Oh, well, I'm a video guy, not a mathematician. And he claimed to be Art Bell and he wasn't. Just like somebody claimed to be George Norrie and he wasn't. I found out that it was fake. The troll, probably from Belgium. Excuse me. By the way, I will be ending this at 8 o'clock because I have to go cat feeding. I had the impression it was last week. Hold on, back to Safari. Let's see, how the hell do I... Spell Putin. All right, they're going to have their meeting Friday at the G20. So they're meeting this Friday, according to The Guardian, according to CNN, and according to The Independent. So this Friday they will be meeting, and first official meeting at the G20, so in Germany. And Trump will win 2 out of 3 falls. Now, I was basing it on 10% would be 71 viewers. Basing on 10%, not 1, Dexter. Well, that's all the liberals do is spew garbage. I just don't understand where the other 700 subscribers are on this channel. Why aren't they watching? Maybe they don't like it when I don't talk about the paranormal. But I follow the direction of what people are in here. Maybe if I had 700 viewers, they would go off about the paranormal or whatever. Now, I'm going to scroll back up for a minute. And by the way, in a few months after I do the digital cable internet, I will work on getting the Alexa or Amazon View or whatever the hell it's called. That way, if you can get an Amazon View of your own, unfortunately they don't do Skype because it's another proprietary Amazon device. But if you get one of those, you can talk to me live, and I can talk to you live. So that's 202 of them. I want to have it so Kathy and I can talk live. And if we had a car, Kathy would be here doing a co-host, because there's no way for her to get home. She has to stay here overnight. So, Carl, send me an email, please, so I can contact you. If you're serious about the iPad, I would really appreciate it. Oh, I would host a TV show in a minute. And now, here's George. Oh, okay. I didn't think about that. You're absolutely right. I will, but I thought with videos where I announce I'm doing a video, they would know I'm doing a video, but maybe I'm not thinking right. Thank you, Dexter. What I need is Dexter here. I need Dexter to be my internet advisor, my YouTube advisor. Yeah, well, I can't look in there while I'm on here, so I would try house hunting, but what weapon do you use to hunt a house? Bow and arrow, gun, harpoon, tank, Abrams, a Bradley, a bazooka. Ancient aliens, yeah. Well, you look at my hair in the morning when I first get up, it looks very similar to George Tsoukalos. I watched one of his programs. He went off to Roswell and talked about the Roswell Rock. He had Linda Moulton Howe on there. So that's one thing with Amazon Prime. You get to watch stuff, but the problem with Amazon Prime is there's a lot of stuff I wouldn't watch. Yeah, well, the UFO hunters got kicked off because they went to Dulce and they knew too much. Now, my hair can go crazy too. It's thinning, folks. Yeah, well, my credit was wrecked because I paid for Kathy's gas card, so I'd have to wait 7 years, and I don't know if I'll live that long. And I haven't even ordered new checks yet because my checks were stolen. So, hey, now there's an idea. Forget about ancient aliens. George Tsoukalos and I, we go put our heads in a Van de Graaff generator. And who has the most frazzly hair, me or him? His hair didn't look frazzled in that video I watched on Amazon either. It was interesting because they went to the... No, I would... But where am I going to get the money to buy a house? I'm going to have money to start my container house. That will be my house hunting. But it will be in pieces. As I have the money, I'll build a section or build part of the infrastructure. And then I'm going to have somebody watch the place so they don't tear out the copper. Maybe by then, 3 years, Abram will have his welding done, and he wants to move on to the land, he said. But I said, if you get a job at a refinery, you're not going to move all the way to the desert. We shall see. If I were to ever hit the lotto, you'd see a house, an urbexing show. What's an urbex? Step this way to the urbex. Go through that door, please. $5 first, thank you. PEX piping. Excuse me, where are you coming up with these terms that I've never heard of? Urbex, PEX piping. I know piping on your pants if you're in the military, but I know piping, you got plumbers doing it, but I don't know what PEX piping is. Oh, urban exploring. Yeah, well, problem with urban exploring is you really can't do it with a cane and injured feet, and you don't want to do urban exploring without a mask, a helmet, proper flashlights, and having somebody else there to watch your back. You can put your foot through a floor, you can have a ceiling come down on you and be killed. Some of those places are really, I watch a lot of those, they're great, but they're dangerous. And some places, the police will arrest you for trespassing. Imagine if I get arrested for trespassing. Right? I'd never hear the end of it, the sewer gappers. That's another thing. I noticed that I'm getting like 150, 175. Oh, don't leave yet. Who's Moana? Never heard of her. Okay, PEX piping. Plastic tubing for plumbing doesn't freeze and burst. Well, that's cool. Of course, I do wonder about if you put water in that for drinking. Oh, Moana. I thought it was some new talk show host. Or hostess, actually. One never knows, you know. I was watching the first episode of, I know of the film, but it didn't register me as a film. I thought you were going to watch some talk shows. The first episode of the new, The Tick, being put up by Amazon. And it amused me. Tick. I have all the episodes of the old Tick, and I have Tick books, so. And a long time ago, my cats got ticks. They went out somewhere, and this is not here, previous kitties. And I actually got a tick when I went out somewhere and got a tick on my toe. And that was a bitch to get off. They hurt. And they can give you Rocky Mountain spotted fever and other noxious diseases. Have fun, Dexter, and say hello to everybody, and hope you don't get indigestion from the 9,000 hot dogs that Dexter makes you eat at once, because they turn green after a while. You have to eat them when they're fresh, you know. I'm really envious. I'd love to be there in the pool. I'm heartbroken. They'd rather watch a cartoon than me. I thrill them to no end that they so excited they leave. Another thing I would do if I won the lotto is go to Vegas, or Miami, and have, much as I hate the term because it's abused. Damn, there's my keyboard again. Have live Falky Fest. And see how many of the jerks from Senda would actually show up. Yeah, I have my Apple TV. I can watch YouTube right now. When I'm done with this tonight, I can watch this video. If I ever did win the lotto, you'd see a large room, maybe a 25 or 50 seat theater in the background or in the foreground, and you'd have me have a set I'd have a producer, I'd have a console operator, a camera operator, and I'd start trying to get people to come on and, like Stanton Friedman, and come on with me. I might be able to get Richard C. Hoagland if he wouldn't be too old by now. By then. Of course, the person I'd like to have on as a guest more than anybody would be Art Bell or Donald Trump. And hundreds of theaters would go out of business immediately. People would be running in terror. Now, there's a company in San Francisco, and that will track down. You start at $300. They will track down the trolls. They find the names, addresses, everything, and they start suing them. That's how you stop these people. Yeah, I lived in Vegas. I know about Vegas. 2 p.m. with no shade. Well, why would people have a wedding where they're out in the shade at 115 and you got a suit on? See, what you want to do in Vegas, you got to have air conditioning, and you got to have it indoors. And if you don't have it indoors, and you do it in the pool, you have lots of sunblock on. But you don't do it in full sun with a suit on. If you have a suit, it's a dry heat. You know, everybody goes, it's a dry heat. Yeah, it's still hot. Dry schmy. Dry hot, dry heat, wet heat, it's still heat. We had rain here, and it was so damn muggy after the rain. It was a muggy heat. Hot is hot. And wearing a suit, I see all these poor guys when it's 90 here, they're walking to court, the lawyers, and they look like they're dying. But they are required to wear suits in front of the judge. If I became dictator, you can wear shorts and a nice Bermuda shirt to court. Yeah, Vegas has pools because everybody roasts in there. If you don't have a pool, it means your house is too old or you're too poor. Yeah, well, they could have talked to the guy from Pittsburgh. See, I would have told him about Vegas. So tell your friends and congratulations on their wedding. They need to watch my videos. And I said, no, you don't do this wedding thing in the middle of the desert with no shade. This is not done. Even from the Berg, we know better than that. You know, if you go, you're 90 degrees in the Berg, you go to Primanti's and have a sandwich in some Iron City or something, or Duquesne, or Rolling Rock. You don't stand out in the hot sun and do a video. That's why they had that thing about Mad Dogs and Englishmen in the noonday sun. It's not done. Go inside the casino and pay the money to have the thing in the nice air-conditioned casino with catering and all that, and then you're not roasting your ass off and getting sunburned. Or if you're going to be out in the sun and do that, then you get everybody in shorts and a nice blue shirt. The married folk the woman can put on her wedding gown, the man can put on his formal suit, and you're going to go out on the golf course, and you can at least get some round of golf in. You know? But then there are people that go out and they do Star Wars weddings, and they do Harry Potter weddings and all that. So yeah, well, having lived in Vegas when there was only one bus line, and I walked many a times from my apartment just south of Maryland Parkway all the way up to the Strip and all the way over to the Sahara or downtown to the Fremont. I got to have a Miss fan the size of Minneapolis to cool me off in Vegas without a car. It's just too hot. When I used to go to bed, I read Dangerous Visions and other science fiction books. My window with the window open, the drapes open, the reading by moonlight. It was 80 at 2 in the morning. So had some guys at the bar right next to it. There was a bar open 24 hours. That's Vegas has no booze restrictions. Yeah, they'll figure something out, though. They get water off the Colorado River. Well, so if they were drug addicts, I hope they've straightened their life out. You know, they've gotten rid of a lot of lawns in Vegas. The problem with Vegas in that area, they're drilling into the aquifer, the underground water table, and that's one problem with water there. There's too many people there. But then you remember, Vegas was not supposed to have all those people. It was a stagecoach stop 100 years ago. It was never intended to be a giant city in the middle of the desert. And if the water ever does run, okay, you know, that's not very nice to be doing these anti-Rose. I don't care for her as an actress. I don't care for her as... she's unappealing, but I'm not going to talk about her drug problems. If she's no longer a drug addict, leave her the hell alone. In fact, I'm gonna put you in a timeout because now you're attacking handicapped people, and I am handicapped, so that wasn't a very funny thing to say. Every function I was ever in at Vegas was always held in the casino, unless you got a golf event. Yep. Too many people in Florida. Read the books of John D. McDonald. He talks about it, and probably Craig Hass. No, is that his name? Carl Hassan. Sorry. He's talked about it too, and publicly, not in the books, but big John D. McDonald fan. You can only have so many people and then you start running out of water. Corey, I've never quite understood why Florida and places that get hurricanes don't have more reservoirs. Then they could get some of the rainwater, filter it out, get it clean, and then they have water when they need it. But that's same with California. They're anti-reservoir here because it's not green, or it would make the steel darter or the mouse jumper become extinct. We're killing off dozens of species every day, and yet they don't want water. Right now, last weekend, I think it was Squaw Valley, they had people come snowing. We've still got all this snow that has not melted. We're into July. Last weekend we were still in June, and they were skiing up in the Sierra. That's how much snow and rain we got. That's still frozen up there. Hadn't melted yet. And normally in a normal year, 30 years ago, that would have melted. Had melted for some reason. Well, desalination plants are expensive. And the problem is you got to do them on the ocean. So then we're going to send the water. Jerry Brown wants to take all the water from Northern California and send it to Los Angeles. That's how Owens Valley started. They ripped off the growers in the Owens Valley, Mulholland, and the growers are kicked. Then they have federal restrictions on water rights. And, you know, California grows the crops for the world. So before people, food should come first. Yeah, well, I've started to stockpile extra water. And when I have the money, every month I get a couple of survival items. Eventually I'm going to build a bug-out bag, build one for the car. Of course, Kathy will lose it, or Ratty Patty will steal it or something. But when I have my car, I'll have a proper bug-out equipment. And when I build my land, my structure, I'm going to have a very large series of water tanks. Yeah, well, I know if I used to know a guy in around Santa Cruz, who grew almonds. So that was his life. He had huge almond trees. They've had to bulldoze some of those because of the drought too. Made a good living growing almonds. There are a lot of crazy people in California. Nothing left of the tea. Where is everybody? Now Dexter left. I guess Moana was more exciting. And everybody else looked like he left too. Okay, here's the thing about California. When you leave the big cities, San Francisco, LA, San Diego, San Jose, Sacramento. Sacramento is much more conservative. There are loons there too. You go out in the country, Fresno, Stockton, Modesto, and up north, they're conservatives. They're not liberals. It's only on the coast the liberals grow because they would shrivel up and die if they get away from the ocean or the bay. The countryside of California is conservative. Much like the middle of the country is conservative. The South, except for Atlanta, is conservative. North Carolina, South Carolina, conservative. I saw Chinatown a long time ago. I barely remember it. A lot of movies I see once, I go, that was interesting, and I move on to another movie. Yeah, flyover states, regions that Clinton forgot about, because Clinton in her arrogance didn't think those states were important. But then she had all those illness issues. She didn't even campaign. Well, Trump was going everywhere. Trump had thousands of people, tens of thousands show up at rallies. Hillary had like 3 guys show up. You know, I mean, it was... and people, nobody was excited about Hillary unless you were CNN or the mainstream leftist media. They were excited. They thought she was going to win. But people were fed up with the policies of Barack Obama, from water rights to putting restrictions on drilling, you name it. Obama did it with executive orders, and people were tired of this dictatorship we had. Where he thought he could change everything with a stroke of a pen. Why do I have iTunes on? It's odd. Okay, I hope that didn't screw me up. Nope. But I've talked to many conservatives online, and very few liberals, unless they get hate mail. That's where that thing was. So anyway, resist, I'm with her. Yeah, right. Well, to the liberals, resistance is not futile, but it really doesn't mean anything. You can resist all you want, but Trump is going to do what Trump does. How far he'll get done with Congress, they are reluctant to do change because they have their own agenda, because they are in power, and even with a Democratic president, the Republicans still have power and influence to an extent. Obama didn't listen to them. Obama said, we'll work with the Republicans, and they never worked with the Republicans, so... but they don't, once they have power, they're not going to relinquish it. Oh, the leftists bully people all the time. I'm bullied. Look at what they did to me in my donations. They called me a fraud. I will deal with that when this broadcast is over, and then I'll go feed the cats. I'm not surprised, but I am rather shocked that anybody would do that to me. And of course, now that I know about it, I can correct the problem. If we had a car, I would correct the problem in person. Just go down to PayPal. $54, I could buy one share of stock and show up as a stockholder at the annual meeting and say, you know, I'm a senior doing YouTube videos. I'm on Social Security. Why is PayPal saying that I'm a fraud when I'm not? Trump is only perceived as a bully because, as Rodney Dangerfield said in Back to School, I won't take any crap from anybody. Yeah, well, you don't say you support Trump. You have your car keyed or scratched or set on fire. But people, they only believe what they hear in the mainstream media. And 95% of that, like most of the stuff that's said about me, is completely untrue. It's all lies from haters. Because they did a study, and even Fox News, which surprised me, they did a study by this respected group, and 52% of Fox News stories were negative toward Trump. And 90% of NBC, CBS, ABC, CNN were negative towards Trump. They have no objectivity. And Tom Sullivan said the other day, they need to just report the news. Here's what Donald Trump and here's what the Republicans did today or didn't do today. They're incapable of doing that. By the way, I'm doing a little housekeeping here. Picking up 2 of my portable hard drives and seeing what the hell's on this table. And they also besmirch the reputations of every conservative out there. We're all mean-spirited and evil. After I took care of Kathy and me, and I'd probably take care of the ratty one, I'd buy about 25 houses. Go to homeless people. Go to homeless families. Go to veterans. Would you like to get off the street? And I'd buy them a house and pay for the sewage, the water, the whatever, and the property taxes, and say, okay, I'm not going to buy you booze. I'm not going to give you drug money, but this is your house, and all I ask is you don't trash it. And that would probably cost maybe $5 million or something. I don't know. Depending where it is. Even if I bought 10 houses and they were like in Concord, I've seen houses for $450,000. That's $4.5 million. But when you have a mayor of LA who had a thing honoring Adam West and had the nerve to make a thinly veiled reference to the Penguin and laughed about it, and the Penguin being Donald Trump, this is the kind of mindset. You're honoring a man who died that people love. You don't go and attack Donald Trump. The Libs will never move. We're still waiting for Alec Baldwin and other people to move, and all the people that said they were going to move to Canada if Trump were elected, they all retracted, or a lot of them did. These people open their mouth. They're trolls. They open their mouth because they can. And because they get news coverage. If they were Joe Blow Schmo from East Podunk, Iowa, no one would pay attention to them. And that's the whole deal there. Thank you. Yeah, I can sort of see, except when I turn my head wrong and the cataract gets in the way. Okay. Oh, there's Kathy's. More coffee for Kathy. Whatever I do with that. Okay, that's the doctor's thing. I don't know what that is. The people who are really mean-spirited are liberals. They're not conservatives. We don't go and trash businesses. We don't go burn cars. We don't go smash windows. And on and on and on and on. And we don't go march because conservatives, for the most part, I'm not talking about me. I'm retired. I would have been retired if I wasn't on disability. I'm 65 years old. They're out working, making money, building the country, investing, saving. They're not doing drugs. They're not taking a dump on a police car. They're not attacking, because you don't see conservatives beat up a Trump supporter, or you don't see conservatives beat up a liberal. No. Well, they're all talking about Comey, James Comey, as being a hero. But James Comey is very flaky, in my opinion. And he'll go off the radar one day, and one day he'll be thoroughly discredited. Oh, my glass case. Now we just figure out when all these... Got all these power things. I have no idea what some of them are. I think that's it. Yes. Except for the speakers that fell in the water. I think I have now. Except for little specks of dirt. I cleared off the bottom keyboard. Yay. And here's the razor blade I use. One day I'll end it all. No, not really. But use that to cut paper with. Let's see what this is. Oh, this is still good. 3 boxes of Jolly Time. Keep that. Trying to not eat microwave popcorn too, but it calls my name all the time. Oh, there's Monopoly, that's no good. And a napkin for blowing my nose. And I don't think there's anything else under there. I don't know how tall Comey is, if that's what you're referring to. But he handled that whole thing wrong. And they're still looking, the American people have said, hey, enough with the cockamamie Russia probes. Most people don't give a damn if Russia. Yeah, Russia hacked it. Russia didn't hack the election results. They just tried to influence the election. In a way, I don't blame Russia. You want a guy who's going to be more toward your views than not, and Hillary Clinton wouldn't have been. And I think Putin understands Trump. Trump is tough. Hillary Clinton was wimpy, just like Obama. I've only seen James Comey like once, and it was like after you hear enough about James Comey, you're going like, enough about James Comey. I'm sick of James Comey. I'm sick of Russian hacking. I'm sick of all this crap. And I just, when I hear Rush talk about it, I listen to Rush, but I just go, okay, I can't take anymore. I suppose I should. What the hell? to get rid of this thing. Uh-oh, what happened? I think it happened. There we go. Well, remember, Hillary helped destroy Muammar Gaddafi. She helped start the Arab destruction of Arab countries. I don't, other than if they're guest host, I don't know who Bill Stein is. Wait a minute, isn't that, I know Mark Stein. Buck Sexton, I think, has been a guest host on Rush. Let's see if I can. Oh, that's interesting. These won't come off. Maybe. Christopher, you're getting really disgusting and trollish. It's time for another block. It's time for another timeout. If you do it anymore, I'm going to block you entirely. I don't know, but Mark Stein, I thought, was Canadian. I could be wrong. Remember, liberals hate you to have fun. That's one of the big things with liberals. If you're having fun, they're against it. They hate guns. They hate fireworks. They say it's going to cause fires. And yet we don't see that they have caused fires. They have caused brush fires, but we don't see this massive news story where 6,000 fireworks fires started in Pacoima. You know, it doesn't happen. Most people go out and use safe and sane fireworks are responsible. It's only the idiots that start a fire with them, because usually they're either stupid or drunk or both. I go out when in Oakland, I would set off fireworks in the driveway where I lived, but I'd have a bucket of water there. Oh, okay. He keeps saying he's the undocumented anchor man, and I'm not sure where he came from at this point. He's a brilliant writer. I have some of his books. And the other guy I like, although he yells and screams too much for me, is God, who is that guy? He's on at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and he yells and screams all the time, and I can't remember his name. I've got his books too, but his name escapes me. Mark Levin, that's it, Mark Levin. Got my marks confused. Well, you know, if it's the 4th of July, you know there's going to be fireworks going off. You go somewhere else. Yeah, Mark Levin. You know people will be setting them off 1 or 2 days before the 4th of July. And, you know, Mark Stein is the conservative equivalent of Jim Cramer going, "They know nothing!" Yeah. No, I just thought it may not work. Future key, what the hell, I'll just open it up later. No point in saving the keys on this. It may not work with a Mac, so let's see about undoing this. I used to like Glenn Beck a lot before he went nuts. I haven't listened to podcasts in ages. I spend most of my time watching videos when I'm not looking for something to talk about. And I plan to do 3 videos in the next 2 days. After I get my acid reflux problem straight, I've already got the topics. Yeah, Glenn Beck, I have Glenn Beck's books, but I lost a lot of respect for him. He went crazy about Trump. He went crazy about other things. And he had some kind of weird disease. So, I don't know what happened to Beck. Oh, I will do this later. I'm going to get up for 1 second and hold on. Gotta get up for a minute. My feet and my legs are starting to express displeasure at my sitting too long. I didn't realize that apparently I have 3 books by Michael Savage, but I'll just give you an idea. These are 3 conservative folk. I'm not sure what Michael Savage is. If he's a true conservative or just very odd. What the hell happened to my screen? Hold on. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Did I just lose the picture here? Sorry about that. My keyboard moved and it did something odd to the screen. Well, here's one book. Patrick J. Buchanan, Nixon, about Nixon, the Greatest Comeback. A picture of Patrick J. Buchanan and Nixon when both were relatively young. There's one. And then we have Michael Savage going after everybody, including Rush Limbaugh, the political zoo. And then one of the many books I got with Glenn Beck, Arguing with Idiots. And quote by, I don't know if these are real quotes or not, a vampire, a death lover, Roseanne Barr, and Whoopi Goldberg, a lying sack of dog mess. And other quotes. Keith Overman, only in his wildest dreams can an actual suicide bomber hope to do as much damage to this country. Keith Overman. So, anyway, this is one of Beck's books. So, I have a whole shelf of conservative books and political books. But, look, I read it off the back cover. I didn't know it was there. I haven't looked at those books in a while. They're blocked by empty boxes. I'm trying to clean in here, and I have empty boxes. I might need them, and if I don't need them, I tear them down and throw them in the recycling bin. But Beck is not conservative anymore. He's gone nuts. And if you are a conservative and not a rhino, and how could you possibly be for Hillary Clinton? There were people talking in the election about they were conservatives for Hillary. That's like a vampire victim saying you're maidens for Dracula. You know, you want Dracula to come and bite you and turn you to the undead. And we don't have people like, God, what was his name? Anthony Weiner, sexting young girls. Or firecrackers. I used to listen to paranormal podcasts on iTunes, but I had to remove them off my hard drive. They're on one of my portable hard drives. I had to put them on my hard drive because they take up so much room. I had a whole bunch of coast shows too. One day I will have a big computer with a big SSD drive. Yeah, well, the problem with ebooks is I have trouble seeing the text anymore, even without the cataract in my right eye. The Moth. Is that a friend of the Tick? The Moth is a good podcast on iTunes. What is The Moth about, Stephen? Somehow I don't think the cockroach podcast would go over very well. Unless you're in Mexico. Kathy's always amused at the fact they have a national song there talking about cucaracha talking about a cockroach. Said, who the hell comes up with a song about a cockroach? The Mexican snack food. Just put some powdered cheese on it. Tastes like Cheetos, I guess. I don't know. Yuck. Boy, they got enough screws in this thing. I have 17. Now, I got one bookcase is broken here. This is a TV table, which I didn't know. I'll get rid of that eventually when I have the energy. The bookcase that the shelves are broken, I get rid of it. It's going to take some effort. I got to move everything off this bookcase on top of it, move all these plastic things, and then put those in the bathroom. There's nowhere else to put them. Take all the boxes of bedding out of their sheets and stuff in cardboard boxes, and then move all that out of the way, move this lamp thing out of the way, move the chair out of the way, and then get someone to help me drag the bookcase out of here. Probably I'll get Abram to help me drag it out when I'm ready to do it. Pay Abram $10. Here's lift fare. Come on over here and help me get this bookcase out of here so I have a little more room, and get that thing out of there so that the drawer things with all the cables and things I have can be on the floor. Well, I should hope it wouldn't be told by dead people. Stories told by live people. Now, that'd be interesting, though. Has anybody gotten a call from dead people yet? From the other side. I like books for one big reason. If I want to look up this book, I can say, I read that on page 242, alternate by partisan punchlines. I may be reading a book and can remember e-books take you 600 years to wade through pages, one arrow at a time. Drives me nuts. Biggest problem with books in here is room and dust. When I build my container house, the bookshelves, as soon as I figure out exactly how I'll set them up, they'll be on the walls and they'll be bolted to the floor. It's unlikely where I'm going to go it's to have a desert. I mean, it's going to have earthquakes, but you never know. And then I'll have them lined up. They won't be in one room. And I will have culled some of them and donated them books to the library. Or move out of here. I never highlight books. I remember it. Or I make notes on my iPad, which is why it was so devastating to lose my other iPad. Although it saved the notes to my broken iPad. Instead of a podcast. The Slug Podcast. There you go. Let me gross everybody out. Or a Banana Slug Podcast straight from liberal Santa Cruz, California. I don't highlight books because I consider it a crime to write your name in a book, much less run a yellow highlighter or a pink highlighter down a book. And if it's a book with my iPad, I can always take a screenshot of the page, and then I don't have to write it down at all. Or highlight it. Yeah, well, that's fine if you have a working iPad, which I don't right now. That's why it's so devastating to lose another iPad. A lot of stuff I was doing on that other iPad, including my DirecTV Now. I checked this morning. It still has not been turned on. It still has not accessed the internet. I don't get what they did with it. By the way, if people were to send me money to get the $207, $208, I didn't get the dollar from Abram, to get my cable internet back, it would be appreciated. I would love to get rid of the buffering, and then after that I will go see about putting memory in this Mac, and eventually an SSD drive. That costs about $500, and then down the pike getting a new Mac, or a newer Mac, and wiping the hard drive on this one and making sure it doesn't have a virus, and using this one, fixing the CD drive, replacing that. More screws, and no, they're not gonna drop the. They just came out the iPad Pro not too long ago. They're going to drop the iPad Pro price when they come up with an iPad Pro 2. There are 9-inch, 7-inch, whatever the hell they are. I've seen Mac Mall say, I think the smallest iPad, and they've eliminated some of the ones on the iPad line. I think it was $329 on Mac Mall. I get these emails and I look at them and oh, that's interesting. I don't have $329, but I need a big iPad. Don't worry about it. Life as a student. What are you studying? Stephen, what are you taking? What are your what's your goals? Don't take liberal arts. You won't be able to get a job. Only reason I would have an iPad mini is to play Mobile Strike. Of course, I've lived before. I'll probably live again. Hopefully in a bigger apartment. And with lots more money. And a rich girlfriend. Yeah, the criminal justice will get you a job. You can prosecute crazed liberals who riot. Or Black Lives Matter people who riot and loot and vandalize. We don't do that either. We build businesses. We don't tear them down. I'm not saying me. If I had the money, I'd start a business. I'd hire people. People would have jobs. Find me a good manager and stay home and watch YouTube. Don't call me unless there's an absolute emergency. I don't want you to run the business. Try not to drive it into the ground. What the hell is pre-med? Every damn movie saying, well, you know, I'm doing Bill Murray or somebody. I'm doing pre-med. And I always wonder what. No, that look what's under the keyboard. Little rubber suction cup thingy. Okay, this came apart. Now, if you tear this off and you have the proper chemicals, that's all gold. You can recover the gold off of that. Oh my God, it looks like Mars invasion here. Look at this. Look at all these little suction cup thingies. Oh my God, they're everywhere. They do this differently than a Mac keyboard. What the hell am I going to do with these? Throw them in my salad cup for now and then get rid of it. God, I recycle plastic, by the way, and paper, and tin cans. Steel or whatever. Wow. That just took out something. Look at that. Some kind of key. Looks like a chicken on top. I can throw this plastic away. Keyboard doesn't work anymore. That's why I'm tearing it down. Yeah. That's the volume button. I see what that is. If I take these off, no, it's just a running thing in a lot of movies. They ask you, "Well, I'm in pre-med." I think that was Animal House. One of my favorite movies. Donald Sutherland, biggest mistake of his life. He didn't take a percentage. He got a straight salary, and he said, "I lost millions by not doing that." And now I've lost my screwdriver. There it is. The late Don Adams, Get Smart fame, got the offer to do Get Smart as a salary or a percentage. He took the percentage. He said it was the best business decision he ever made of his life. Gave him an income for the rest of his life, even when he couldn't find a job because he was typecast as Maxwell Smart. Okay, there is this is your connector from the keyboard to the computer. Now I have a project that I might be able to figure out how to solder. There you go. Might be able to reuse these LEDs. Yeah, I announced it here. Told Nori about it too. Flounder died. This is what happens when you hardwire a USB connector, but I'm just going to throw that out because I wouldn't know what the hell to do with the cable. Yeah, diabetes. That's what he died from. Complications from diabetes. Alright, 13 minutes to go, and I turn into a pumpkin because it's cat feeding time. I'm roasting. I've got to go to the bathroom. And before I do all but going to the bathroom, I got to call PayPal and raise hell. I'm really angry about this. I will get it straightened out. If I have to go down to PayPal is in San Jose, I think. If I have to go down there in the train and spend money next month, I'll go there. No, they have recycling businesses. I just do this because if I ever have the time, when I get my land, I've watched how to build a workshop, but you do not want to do this in an enclosed building. You take sulfuric acid and some other stuff and water, and you soak these things overnight, and you get the gold and the silver and the copper out, and then you have to do certain things. And you know what? That looks like the only metal, only recyclable thing in there was that little tiny circuit board. There are no circuit boards in this keyboard, which surprises me. It's just all these little tiny suction cups. VFAs with customer service. Amazon wasn't going to give me another Kindle Fire, and I got that done. But any anonymous troll claiming fraud is disgusting. Or a bunch of anonymous trolls. That could be from Jason Callan and his legion of trolls. There could be from the Belgab legion of sewage scum. Who knows? Okay. Anyway, this is the non-working Me keyboard, MI. Still sell these, by the way. And there's what it looks like from the back. All these little buttons will come out of you. Oh, this is interesting. These are attached. So, like a little tree. But, surprising that not one bit of metal in any of this stuff. So, I'll just throw it in the recycling bin. And I guess I'm going to have to... Well, they're not pushing out. Oh, and that, boy, real sturdy plastic there. I just clicked on the space bar and it just went crack. And there's the only metal in here, just about 2 little springs and a piece of bar for the space bar. Yeah, no, he didn't jump off a cliff. He fell off a cliff. He didn't commit suicide. They talked about it in the deluxe version of Animal House. How sad they were that Doug Kenny worked originally at the Harvard Lampoon. Squishy feeling keys. And thus all the Martian suction cups from War of the Worlds, the television series. Some of which are all on my floor now. Why am I doing this? I got a knife. Doing this not to bore people, but because I figured I'm talking here, I may as well do something with myself while I'm talking. And Chevy Chase did a movie with Goldie Hawn where the Pope was going to be assassinated. That was fun. His Fletch movies were dumb. He did Ishtar, I think, or was that, who was it? Dustin Hoffman and him or somebody? But he's a one-joke pony. and, you know, remember he pretended to be poor Gerald Ford tripping all over everything. But I'm not impressed with Chevy Chase. And he, according to what I've read, with certain directors and stars, was not a very nice person. I think Bill Murray hates him, from what I read too. So they hate it. He hates Chevy Chase with a passion. And when they had to do that scene in Caddyshack, they had to, I think, film it separately and edit it because he would not be in the same room with Chevy Chase. That's how much Bill Murray dislikes the man. And Bill Murray seems to be a nice guy, so it must take a lot to really actively not want to be in the same room as somebody. I watched Fletch, but I wasn't impressed. I don't know. Maybe it's just that I'm not a big Chevy Chase fan. But like a lot of these people, look at the horrible Master of Disguise with, what the hell was Dana Carvey. I had to dig that out in the back of my memory. Kathy and I both saw that in the theater. We paid good money for that piece of crap. One of the worst. The trailer made it look like it was going to be great, and it just sucked. These guys come out, look at Chris Farley, overdosed on heroin. John Candy, people miss him. Nobody in their right mind would miss Chris Farley. Heavyset guy with another one-trick pony guy. But why would you want to mess yourself up? And I'm talking about John Belushi, too, another guy. Heroin, but he didn't. He had somebody else inject him with heroin. But why would you... That's Rob Reiner. He's an ultra-leftist and a kook. His father is brilliant, Carl Reiner. Richard Dreyfuss, I've enjoyed Richard Dreyfuss's work, except for the Moses Wine film that Kathy and I saw, the big something or other. Played a San Francisco detective, kept his gun in the glove compartment with no bullets in it and with a pencil in it so his kids wouldn't get involved with the gun, and it was one of the worst films ever. Kathy hates Close Encounters of the Third Kind. She said it just went on too long and it's stupid. She also hates E.T. According to something I just read, E.T. never said phone home. I heard it. Maybe it's that thing where people imagine they see something on the screen that doesn't exist, or they cut it out later. So, I think a lot of these people, there's another spring, when they take their star hat off, and they're not on camera, they don't have the paparazzi bothering them, you can talk to them. I talk to Clint Eastwood like a person. I've talked to other people. Carl Malden, nice guy. They don't get bugged that they're, you star, I gotta talk to you, gonna bug the shit crap out of you. I'm sorry. Try to keep them swearing, but they come out sometimes. Just blurt out. Yeah, the mechanical keyboards will have gold in them and silver. This thing doesn't. A squishy keyboard. So, well, some leftists can be nice, but with all the anti-Trump mania, anti-conservative, anti-Tea Party, boy, these things are not strong. Look at that. That just cracked open the Alt key. Now, I watched a documentary one night on what they do. There's another piece of wire. What they do with all your recycled stuff, they wash them with a high-powered hose and scrub them down so they're clean, and they ship all this stuff in container ships to China. And I guess they recycle it and send it back to us as computer stuff and consumer products and sold at Walmart and dollar stores. A lot of which are crap, or they're those as seen on TV that nobody wants to watch anyway. the Baconator or whatever the hell it is, you know. There's a sandwich. I got a coupon for it. I'm tempted to go over there and get two of them. One's bacon with chicken club bacon sandwich, and the other one's a bacon with a hamburger, Jack in the Box. I don't normally eat except for the tacos. Now, this keyboard I used for about 3 years before it stopped working, and I've never cleaned it out because you couldn't get to the keys. You can see all the hair and dust, and that's the whole keyboard, the Me keyboard, torn down. That's what it looks like, folks. So that will go to recycling. But there is one thing that's worth money. That's that. That can be soaked. And oh, there's 2 sheets of this. They're glued together, stuck together. That's gold. That can be soaked. That will come off. You want to put this, you don't want to have it around kids or somebody can get to it. But you can put this in a jar of sulfuric acid and sitting out in the sun, and 24 hours, there'll be gold there. Then you got to get rid of the sulfuric acid, which is another problem. Well, I have a little bag. I just put all this stuff in when I break down a piece of equipment. And you wind up with about... This is also, the back has got, the solder is silver. And you wind up with about 20 little tiny screws, which I put in a little tiny screw jar in my drill drawer, screwdriver drawer in the kitchen. When I have a house, I will have all these things in little proper screw things that I put on a wall and on racks. All of this stuff, excuse me. You know, no, they don't bury the components as far as I know. They recycle all this stuff. But, at least according to this program I watched. And as for calling Trump names, you know, what's the point? You can call Trump names. I called Obama Obama. I thought he was a bum and he was a fraud. All this stuff. I'm not born in Kenya. I was born in Hawaii, and there's evidence that all that was forged. And the Secretary of State that certified his birth certificate died of cerebral hemorrhage the next day, which is suspicious. And by the way, I watched another video on James Earl Ray, the supposed killer of Martin Luther King Jr. Here's a guy who was a career criminal. He was a smash and rob guy, a robber. Knew nothing about guns. Said he hooked up with a guy named Raul. And Raul told him to get this gun, and he got the wrong gun because he knew nothing about rifles. He went to a store in Birmingham, Alabama, and bought a rifle, took it back, exchanged the rifle, and he said he was set up. Where have we heard that before? Lee Harvey Oswald. And here's a guy who, they gave him money to buy a Mustang. Raul was stringing him along, wouldn't give him a passport, and yet he suddenly winds up in London, and he escapes the scene out of his hotel room and supposedly wraps up the rifle and wraps up a bag with his personal possessions in it, and that's how they knew who he was, and he dumps him in the doorway of a kind of warehouse. That really strikes me as rather odd. The guy knew nothing but guns, and yet with one shot shoots Martin Luther King. Well, Obama doesn't like Martin Luther King because Martin Luther King was not a raging, flaming liberal. And Martin Luther King would not have approved, I think, of a lot of Obama's crap. His divisiveness and bitter clingers to guns and religion and all that. Martin Luther King would have chewed him a new one. I heard King speak, and I don't think the man was mean-spirited even toward the people that hated him. But I could be wrong. All right, there is the not counting my spoon. There's the whole keyboard. And you'll notice that the leftists, they call us racist, misogynist, haters, xenophobes, homophobes, Islamophobes. We're none of the above. I like women. I don't hate anybody except sewer gap trolls and MB. And one of these nights I did an imitation privately of Heather Wade. It was the beginning of the Heather Wade show. And I'll do that one night just for the hell of it. But if I can remember what I was saying when I was in the living room doing, but I'd have to listen to her to hear what her voice sounds like, because I won't listen to her once. But I came up with some fake guests, fake what they were talking about. I was amusing myself, so self-amusing. Yeah, I'm guilty of self-amusing. Great perversion, self-amusing yourself. Excuse me, I'm trying to pick up the last suction cup. Okay. Nobody's the same as Art Bell, except for maybe when he was at his height, Larry King. Well, it's 8:04, and let's see. I had my iPhone on the whole time. So it's time for the Bouse on the Wall to say goodbye. I hope you enjoyed this. We're down to 8 people, so I'm getting roasted in here, and I gotta go to the bathroom and call PayPal and go feed the kitties. So have a great night, and I will catch you next time. This is George Senda, the guy from Pittsburgh, and there is a link. Someone sent it to me. I will post it in the description of this video for listening to Art Bell and Free Art Bell. And I really wish him and his wife and Aaron and Asia great joy and happiness with their new son and Asia's new brother. So good night, people. Thank you. And Carl, if you're serious about that iPad, I am really lost without my other iPad, or whoever was going to donate the iPad to me. But just drop me a line. I will talk to PayPal as soon as this is over. And yeah, Stephen will be here, hopefully. He will be full of holes, but he will be here. Motts will have eaten all his clothing, and he will be nude online, live. I will straighten that out as soon as I get off this and call them and say, what the hell did somebody do? So, by the way, have you ever wondered what my iPhone looks like? This is my iPhone 5S, and if I put OS 11 on it in November, this will become obsolete. And I have Weather Kitty. I love Weather Kitty. Weather Kitty. I hope the Weather Kitty doesn't become obsolete. I like Weather Kitty. Let's see. Weather Kitty, are you going to... Oh, my God. No wonder I'm dying in here. The high for today was 84. And there's Weather Kitty. Little kitty cats. I love kitty cats, as you know. And, of course, there is Steelers. All these people, I'm not from Pittsburgh. And, yes, of course. And Steelers kickoff concert series announced. Lloyd, you wanted it. Legends series, Greg Lloyd. Getting to know Johnny Maxey. All-time reception leaders. Photos. FaceTime with Dupree, Part 1. Top 100 Rocking Style. FaceTime with James. Getting to know Bart Houston. Getting to know Tuitt. 20 questions with Jujo Schmidt-Schuster. Youth football, James Conner. Some guy named Roethlisberger. And more stuff. So there's my Steelers app. And I have other apps on here. This is not used as a phone because it's not hooked up to AT&T. But all right, I'm going to get out of here. Kim Komodo said the beta, you want to back your machine up because you put the beta, it can screw up your device. So, but she's already announced that hundreds of apps that you may be using now will become obsolete if you put 11 on your device. Apple does this from time to time I think they do it just to make sure that a lot of apps go bye-bye off the App Store, but it doesn't do anything about pissing the people off that love their applications. So, all right, I got to go. Have a great night. Stay cool and safe out there. Thanks for watching, and I hope one day there will be hundreds of people in here instead of 15. And Auburn will be here next week. Bye-bye for now. How do I turn this off? Hold on. Okay, there we go.